in a business now. This is a business venture. You're my first customer.
I'm thinking more along the lines of $800.
A $50 loss for my first sale. Yeah, I mean, that's better than I expected, honestly. Wizard, I made my first sale. I only lost 50 bucks.
Wait, say that again. You did what?
I sold my first car under my dealership, and I only lost $50.
You lost $50.
Yes.
That's
only.
not how you run a business.
Well, welcome to Hoovie's Garage, the dumbest automotive channel in all of YouTube, and I'm having a little bit of deja vu because over 10 years ago, I opened up a car dealership in the middle of an economic recession where cars were very expensive because of a shortage, because of cash for clunkers, and I bought a blue Buick Roadmaster, slapped a dealer plate on it, and started my business, which never made money. So now here we are in 2022. I bought a blue Buick Roadmaster. I've slapped a dealer plate on it because I have my dealer's license again in the start of a new recession with very inflated car prices thanks to a lot of issues, mostly supply chain, and I'm opening a dealership that is not going to make money. But this time, it's on purpose. Yes, a car dealership that intentionally doesn't make money, but it's not going to be a charitable thing or any of that kind of stuff. It's just going to be me making bad decisions and the dealer's license influencing me to do that. And today I'm going to talk about how I got this dealer's license again, the numerous hoops you have to jump through, and whether you should or shouldn't, and, well, why, which I guess ties into that as well. Why? There were numerous reasons why I needed to get a dealer's license again, legal reasons and things I have coming up and the way things are currently. And I've also bought my first car under my new car dealership, and it is a total priceless, amazing icon from the past. You don't want to miss that. And we'll check on the Car Wizard, of course. And I guess the Superbird is actually working, full air conditioning, everything else, along with the other projects. So let's hop in my Roadmaster wagon with a full use dealer plate on the back. Notice that, we'll talk about that in a bit, and head to the Wizards. We'll say hello to my latest business venture here. It is, well, T&A Ventures LLC. Now that's my name, Tyler, and my wife, Ann. Unfortunately, T&A Holdings was taken as an LLC, so I did Ventures instead. Now, I was off to a really bad foot with the dealer's license people because they showed up recently and gave me my dealer's license, and I read it as the sign needing to be at least 10 inches tall. Well, I was wrong. The letters need to be at least 10 inches tall, so I didn't really think this through with the name. Now, I'm at the Wizard shop. You see Omega up there. There's going to be a 10-inch tall T&A Ventures right here. And thankfully, they still gave me the license, and they're giving me 30 days to fix it. But here, let's go inside, and you can see, well, my wonderful office here. It's actually in the break room. So the Car Wizard, his office is right here. He's hard away at work doing something. We'll get to him in a little bit. But here is my beautiful estate sale find office furniture, including a file cabinet, which I sort of need to fix, a computer and a printer to do paperwork. So a lot of hoops to jump through to get a dealer's license. I can't do it out of my home, which is why I have it here. It needs to be at a commercial address. I give the Car Wizard now a few $100s a month in rent to have this space, and it has to get cleared with the local zoning, and that gets you through the first hoop. So the local zoning cleared this space. The Wizard had it before. Then I had to get special insurance, the dealer liability insurance, which with my insurance company, Grundy, they're used to this because a lot of car collectors maintain their collection using a dealer's license. So it was actually only an extra $2,000 for a dealer liability policy if someone's test driving the car and something happens. Otherwise, you add the cars on your insurance as you normally would. There's the surety bond you have to get, being a bonded dealer. I don't know if it really does anything nowadays. It's just an old requirement. I had to get a business phone specifically for the dealership, which is kind of a waste because I just have it forwarded to my phone, but it does have a business phone. That's one of the requirements. And then I had to get the new LLC cleared for taxes, and then me cleared for local and state taxes to make sure I didn't owe anything. Otherwise, the state won't issue me a license if I owe the money. And then they came out and inspected. They gave me a class to show me all the car dealership rules and regulations and lingo and how to print paperwork, which I already sort of knew because I had done this before. And then I became a licensed bonded dealer, which another thing I need to do is I need to get a frame and put this up on the wall because I have to show that I am a dealer. So now I have a lot of rules to follow, a lot of things that I need to do paperwork-wise every month, file monthly reports to report my sales to the state. A lot of extra work for me, but it is so worth it. Being number one, I don't have to go to the DMV every single time I buy a car. If I know it's something I'm not going to keep for very long, 6 months or a year, I don't have to go tag it. I can use my dealer's license to have the vehicle, do my videos, fix it up, and sell it like a normal car dealer would. And I don't have to pay sales tax, which is 7.5% in Wichita, 8.5% here. So say on the Superbird, which I can run on my dealer's license, $130,000 car, I don't have to pay sales tax. The Ferrari 458, don't have to pay sales tax. So it already saved me $20,000 or $30,000 just right off the bat like that. Also, the Car Wizard and I are about to start filming the 3rd season of Car Issues.
Yes.
And that requires me to buy 10 cars. And in the past, I had had Urination Bob sort of help me with his license. And, you know, it's a little, I mean, it wasn't anything illegal. It was just a big challenge for him, a big time suck, not worth it to him. He did get some cars, obviously, out of it for him to sell and make money. It was a big favor to ask. So now having the dealer's license, I can buy the cars for the show, keep or flip, obviously. That's what I do at the end of the show, which actually, it's made its network TV premiere season 2 on Motor Trend right now. It'll be Wednesday nights at 9/8 Central. So if you tune in, you can watch it on actual live old school TV. Otherwise, it's on the Motor Trend Plus app right now. And that was the primary reason for me doing this, just because of the show, buying 10 cars at once. It was a lot to handle. Now that I have it, it's going to make life so much easier for me. And actually, I can sort of get back into the game of buying cars, which, let's go check out my new purchase here. Oh yeah. This is a 2005 Suzuki Aereo SX. And if you're over in Europe, in the UK, this car is pretty famous to you, especially if you watch Top Gear, because it was the Suzuki Liana, a sedan that was the original Top Gear test car. The star in a reasonably priced car was in a little Suzuki like this, a sedan. In the United States, they named it the Aerola. Yeah. Why they chose that name, I really don't know, but it's a 2005 with 215,000 miles. It is a hot hatch. You can see it's a little worse for wear, a little bit of damage here and there, but most importantly, it has a manual transmission. Yes, a 5-speed. And a 2.3-liter 4-cylinder, so actually a pretty decent-sized engine in a little bitty car this size. So as far as Top Gear was going for a start in a reasonably priced car, this was actually a pretty good choice. I'd never driven one before. I was very excited to own it, and it was only $850, and actually, it's pretty fun to drive. So let's go for a spin. Starts right up. No lights. I actually did pretty well for myself for my very first car. Oh yeah. And if you grew up watching Top Gear like me, you can't help but love this thing. Of course, they retired the Suzuki pretty early on for a different car, but they always brought back the Suzuki when a Formula One driver was there, because that's how most of the F1 drivers in the early seasons sort of did their own lap. So they bring out the Suzuki, like when Michael Schumacher came and he whipped one of these around the test track. But I gotta say, it was a reasonably priced car, but you know, it's actually pretty darn cool. Let's see what this thing's got. Oh yeah! There's 50. You know, pretty good clutch and gear action. It's pretty darn nimble too. It is the SX, so it's the sporty one. I can't imagine there's many of these surviving. They have to be all gone. And I imagine most of them sold in the United States were automatics, so I wonder how rare this thing is. But just because it's rare, obviously, doesn't make it valuable. $850, I was the only person that really wanted it. But nowadays, finding any car that runs for under $1,000 is an accomplishment. And this car, 215,000 miles, yes, but you get over 30 miles per gallon on the highway? This is a really good buy. My first auction purchase when I opened up my old dealership many years ago was actually 2 on the same day. Both of them were Jeep XJs. One was a Comanche with a 2.8 V6. The other one, a 90s Cherokee XJ that was actually pretty nice, rust-free. Both of them were around $2,000, which was incredible to think considering how much they're worth nowadays. And unfortunately, that 2.8 liter V6 in the Comanche, total junk, and it blew up on the way back from the auction. I sold it for a $1,000 loss, but then the Cherokee I sold for a $1,000 profit, a rust-free XJ Cherokee with like 150,000 miles for $3 grand. That seemed like all the money back then. Nowadays, worth 10 grand. So I broke even. And that was me trying to make a living. This Suzuki, it handles pretty well. I had it delivered up to the Wizard's shop. It's been up here for a few days, and Wizard's mechanic, Magic Mike, has apparently shown some interest, so I may be making my first ever sale. So let's head back to the shop. Boy, that is one fine automobile. And I already got a sucker here. I mean, customer. Hello, Magic Mike.
Hey, Tyler, how are you?
Tooler?
Tooler.
Okay, I guess so. I am a car dealer again. So, Magic Mike's already test driven this car. He's already inspected it as a mechanic. There are some issues.
There's a few issues with this car, but for this kind of a price, I mean, I wouldn't expect a perfect car.
Okay, so yeah, like the rear hatch doesn't open. There's a few leaks. What leaks? Why? What'd you find?
Valve cover gaskets are leaking, oil pans leaking. I got some plugs leaking, but nothing too bad.
Yeah, and unfortunately there's a little bit of damage. The areola has lost some of its aereo here, including a nice little chunk out of the front bumper, which
It's just got an overbite.
yeah, kind of a shame there. Otherwise it'd be a very nice car, you know, this white pearl metallic paint.
Yes, very nice. I'm looking for something that definitely gets better gas mileage than the Roadmaster.
Yes, he drives a 94 Buick Roadmaster?
Correct.
Sedan, and yeah, not very good on gas.
About 17 miles to a gallon.
These should be over 30, so.
Should be.
So, $850. It's, you know, I'm in a business now. This is a business venture. You're my first customer.
I'm thinking more along the lines of $800.
A $50 loss for my first sale. Yeah, I mean, that's better than I expected, honestly. So, all right, well, we'll go do some paperwork, and then I'm gonna get with the car wizard. I guess the Superbird is working.
Its Superbird is working.
Okay. We'll just finish up paperwork with Magic Mike. Everything went well. The printer worked, which is great for a new printer. One thing I forgot to show you is my dealer plates, though. I have 3, but here's 2 of them. This is the normal dealer plate, which you're only supposed to use for official dealer business, test drive, picking up cars, dropping off cars, that kind of stuff. But, you know, most dealers, they drive on the dealer plates, whatever car they're daily driving, and, you know, you're not supposed to use it for anything except dealer business. Now, I don't know many Kansas dealers to go to this trouble, but they do also offer a full use dealer plate, which most dealers do use a dealer car as a daily driver, or their spouses do. Then you can buy this one and you can use this as a normal plate to drive around, say, as a daily driver in a car, and you can switch it from car to car, whatever you are using. And since I'm buying cars, gallivanting all over the country, doing YouTube videos, which, I mean, you could say sort of promotes the cars and is part of dealership business, but anyway, I got one of these, even though it's like almost $400 versus the dealer plates that just pretty much come with the license. And honestly, I think that's a deal. But I am a successful businessman now. I made my first sale. Wizard, I made my first sale. I only lost 50 bucks.
Wait, say that again. You did what?
I sold my first car under my dealership, and I only lost $50.
You lost $50.
Yes.
That's
only.
not how you run a business.
Well, it's way better than the last time I was a car dealer.
I'm looking at these things, and I'm not going to get them by losing $50 on my sales.
The Luna super yacht.
Mm-hmm.
Goodness gracious. Well, I have a little bit of money in my pocket.
Oh, good.
I hear some cars are done or almost done out there, so can we do a little walk around?
Let's go do it.
Sorry to peel you away from your yacht shopping.
Oh, that's okay. I got to get money to buy it.
Yes, Wizard. So when we last left off on the Superbird, you couldn't get the AC ports to latch on. Mm-hmm. Like it was a new baby that wouldn't latch onto the thing.
I guess you could look at it that way.
Yeah.
A lot of people thought it was a new Freon or the new refrigerant that's out, new fittings. It's not. It's just that the kit that was installed in here is like a Chinese cheap.
Well, that goes against what I said about this car having all the right parts in it. They just weren't put together correctly. So there's one cheap part in here, and that's the AC ports, huh?
Just the ports.
Okay.
The AC's fine. Just the ports were. We finally found a set of couplers that would mount them properly.
Oh, would latch on. Okay.
Yes, they would latch
wonderful. And then, so it took a charge.
It did.
And then it blew hot air.
There was a potentiometer under the dash to actually go from hot to cold. It was bad. It wasn't working. There were some hoses unhooked under the dash. We got all that fixed. The AC works. It's blowing nice cold now. We got your fuel tank issue fixed as well.
Oh, yes. So you actually somewhat pulled the tank out, which this is another weird thing. So it would never go over half a tank. I was constantly putting gas in this thing because I don't think it even gets 10 miles per gallon. And the fuel filler is down here, so it kind of like fills into the side of the car. Mm-hmm. And you told me because of the way it was mounted sort of at an angle, it wouldn't take more than half a tank, right?
Right. The style of tank they used the front of the tank was actually higher than the rear, and you could never get fuller than a half a tank because it started coming out the filler neck.
Yeah.
But we was able to adjust it to where you get almost 3/4 of a tank now, but that's as best as we can get it.
Without doing a completely different fuel tank.
Right.
Huh. Well, that's still better than less than half a tank, because I fill up in like 6 gallons.
6
Yeah,
gallons.
so
Don't get you very far.
cold air conditioning, which is great. No Hemi Superbird ever had cold air conditioning, including the one that just sold at Barrett Jackson for a new record. It was $1.5 million for one of these. Yeah.
Oof, wow.
Obviously, numbers matching original car, not like this, but I talked to the guy who was buying it, and he was not going to leave without it. He jumped the bid from $1 million to $1.5 million, $500,000 in one up.
Well, that pretty much cleared the air at that point.
Wiped him out. So
Yeah.
I should thank him, I guess, because rising tide floats all boats with these things. But should I sell it? I'm a car dealer now,
I think you should.
but then I might actually make money. So probably
Well,
not.
that's good.
No, it's not. No, the Ferrari though. Last time I was here, the Ferrari was up in the air getting its shaft seal.
Yes, we got
Shift
that
shaft
replaced, and we got your valve cover gaskets replaced. I just went ahead and covered it all under warranty. Even though the shift shaft seals weren't a warranty issue, I just went ahead and covered it for you for your inconvenience anyway.
Are you okay?
Yeah. I lost $50 today.
All right. So is this car done too?
I think it is, yes.
Huh. So I have 2 cars I need to pick up. Unfortunately, though, the Aston Martin, the tune-up is done, but still has issues. Go
Yes.
figure. So the Vanquish did a full tune-up on. You did your cheating with the intake, which worked. You're able to do the spark plugs and the coils. And then Magic Mike, who's working on this Factory 5 Cobra, very pretty, took it out for a test drive, and it started falling on its face, huh?
Yep. It seems to solve some of the misfire issue, but anytime you would demand more fuel, on this side, since it has 2 fuel pumps, one
Right.
for each side of the engine, this side, the driver's side, it just couldn't keep up.
Huh.
So we finally found out that the pump itself, which is very difficult to get to, the whole interior has to come out.
Oh, really? So you're
Yeah.
starting to tear it out now?
Yep. It's a failing pump.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess this is Tavarish's revenge.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't think he's torn into the Audi R8 very much anyway. But the good news is, yes, it's hard to get to, but it's a pretty generic, widely used fuel pump, so it's not like $1,500 like the
No.
coolant reservoir.
No, the part itself is not so bad, but getting to it is the hard part.
Okay, well, I guess I have my pick of what to drive home. That one's free. The Superbird, though, I think I want to drive it with air conditioning.
Yes,
So,
it would be nice.
you have a bill, I assume, right?
I absolutely
Okay,
do.
I will do it without protest. It's a decent one, $1,300.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I only got $800 for the car.
$800?
Yeah.
And you actually took a hit on that. I still can't
Yeah.
believe
Well,
that.
I'm negotiating right now. Could you do 800?
No, there's no negotiating on the bill.
Okay. Well, all right, $1,300. I mean, you did take the fuel tank out and AC. I'm glad that was able to get fixed relatively easily. 300, well, less than $500. So that's good.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, $1,300. I'll get my card out here.
Don't forget, you now owe me rent.
Oh, he's my landlord now. That's right. So I owe you more. All right. Well, I'm going to keep paying the wizard, and I'm going to keep thanking you guys for watching. Thank you for watching.